Hi friends, MD Vegan. I make a fruit salad today. My favorite food is fruit salad. And this time I make a more complex one with, well, I didn't count the ingredients. It might be 10, 12, I don't know. But the method is take 3. That means I have 3 parts. Each part can have 3 parts again. A part can be an ingredient. A part can be, as I said before, 3 ingredients. But number 3 is crucial because I want to have every segment, every part being complex. That's how I would define cooking. Putting ingredients together is cooking. And you can also go as far and say, okay, I have one ingredient and take different approaches to it. For example, I have an apple. I peel it. I use the peel, I use the flesh, I use the seeds, and I make something of it. Still one ingredient, but 3 ways to handle it. But you have to do something with it. You have to prepare it in a way, and to use 3 means not more than 2, 1 more than 2. And that means the big difference. Yeah? Because when you have 3 parts, you have so many more options to combine the parts than with 2. With 2 you have only 2 options. With 3 you have already 6. And between 2 and 6 is the same difference as between 2 and 3. 3 ingredients, 6 options, 2 ingredients, only 2 options. That makes complex. That means complexity. That means complexity is something that is a mystery for the mind. Yeah. So if we cannot analyze something, we feel it only. That's the only way. Otherwise we analyze it, we put it into parts and we understand it. But if you feel it only, you can't analyze it, then you have the mystery. And that's what I want to create. I want to create some surprise for the one who eats it, who enjoys it. And it's an all art, also in love. You can't really understand. You have to really feel. That's where consciousness begins, feeling. That's where consciousness and awareness begins. You have to feel it. Basic statement, I think. And to me, cooking is very simple when I begin with a method. You know, I have 3 parts. I have a dressing, I have a main part with 3 ingredients, and I have a third part. A topping can it be? In this case, I have 3 parts in the topping, and I will show you in a moment. First, I make the dressing. The dressing is one I used for many fruit salads before. It's one of my favorite dressings. It's a cashew cream. And that's so delicious. I just blend cashews here a little bit more than half a cup with 3 bananas, small bananas, and a little bit more than half a cup cashews. That alone is super delicious. So the cashews and the bananas, they make a sweet cream. Cashews on its own, blending cashews on its own makes also a sweet cream, but with bananas it's creamier and sweeter even. And I add a little bit of lemon. That is the classic for my kitchen. These 3 ingredients, cashew, banana, and a lemon here, a small lemon, to give really this wonderful flavor, this magic flavor. Because the banana also, if you add a lemon to the banana turns into something really complex. You know, you feel bitter flavors in the banana and sweet ones at the same time. Banana is really many flavors in there, but with a lemon, you underline a little bit more. I find lemon is perfect with banana. So I have the classic here from my kitchen, cashews, banana, lemon. And now I make a refinement. I put dates and vanilla to it. Something very special today. As I said, I make a little bit more complex fruit salad. Here, this is a half a teaspoon, not too much, of vanilla powder. And here I have some dates. Dates and vanilla go perfectly together. Vanilla also goes together with hot flavors, by the way. It has an always to be sweet, but most of the time you use vanilla in sweet flavors and desserts, and really opens the senses. It makes the senses really very sensitive. You feel more. Vanilla is the idea of a complex recipe flavor. It's vanilla. You know, the way you produce it always. You know, there is a part of an orchid. It's not the blossom itself, but it is a pod very close to the blossom, and they use these pods for months. They ferment it, They have to have, that is so much time they use for that, and it's very complex, and the flavor you can taste, it's really a complex flavor, very nice. So vanilla is opening the senses, and I put a little bit of water in there, not too much, just to get the blender going, and then after the first blender dance, I show you my fruit. I will quickly taste it, and then I set to the side to soak a little bit, to do the second blending later, to make it really creamy. Yeah, it's a vanilla cream, absolutely. So that's perfect, texture also very nice. Now I come to the main ingredients of my salad, pears and melon. Honeydew, melon and pear. I used that before. It's a very nice pairing. The honeydew melon stands out more than I thought. I was surprised in a fruit salad. The honeydew melon is so outstanding before the others. But when I combine it with a pear, a very sweet pear, a soft pear, it was balanced a little bit. That was good. And the papaya here, the third ingredient, papaya, half a papaya, is not so standing out. It is more the base of a fruit salad, like a banana. It's very gentle flavor, not very predominant. You can season it. And I will season it now with a pear and honeydew melon, I guess. And the strong flavors, they can transform the pear, the papaya. The papaya can do with that. And I have now the third part. This is the second part. The dressing is first. The second part is the main ingredients. And the third part begins with mangoes and blueberries. And they go right in there. The colors alone, right? It's a perfect combination, the dark blue and the orange, light orange, from the beautiful, delicious mango. I also think that these are seasonings for the salad. The third part, the third ingredient in the third part is passion fruit. The very unique sour and sweet flavor. It's also like a seasoning. It's very characteristic. I don't know any other fruit that tastes like passion fruit, very unique. And I will put it on top as a topping. So I have now my fruit salad, the main ingredients. I will blend one more time and then I combine it. It really makes a difference to do a second blending, especially when I don't, my spoon, especially when I don't, where's my spoon? Wait a second. Sorry for that, especially when I don't soak the cashew nuts. Because when it's really creamy and smooth, it tastes all better. And the second blending does the job perfectly. I show you now what the creamy dressing looks like, the vanilla cream. You see, it's a wonderful fruit salad, and this size of a fruit salad is like a whole meal to me. It's always, if you have fruit, if you want to eat only fruit, almost, the nuts here are not fruit, but it's almost fruit still, the big part, then you have to eat a lot more than vegetables, for example. Just the size, you can eat a lot more fruit than vegetables. I can. I would never eat a big, massive vegetable salad like that. like with protein and fat in there, like peas or something, avocados, that will be really too much. But with fruit, I can eat a lot more. Fruit is so much lighter. Yeah? It's the lightest food. Fruit. Very easy to digest. It gives the energy directly to the system. Almost. It's so easy. Because there's no protein and no fat in fruit, usually. That is the lightness. The hard digestion begins with fat and protein. And fruit has not so much. The nuts here is the only thing that is a little bit of fat. And they have a little bit more heavier digestion. So that's why I put a lot of, in a lot of my fruit salads, I put a dressing with nuts, or also in the fruit salad, just to make the fruit salad a little bit more keeping. But it's a little bit heavier than with the nuts. But I don't mind. I mean, for a breakfast, that's a very nice thing to have it a little bit heavier to me, because it takes a little longer. I don't need to eat that much of a quantity. So I put now the passion fruit on top of the glass here. I serve to myself. I show you in a moment what it looks like with the passion fruit topping. This is a typical breakfast of mine. It's only a small portion. I have some more of these glasses, as you see, and I'm already looking forward to that. It's a wonderful fruit salad. I mean, the passion fruit is crunchy. It's a different texture. There are soft textures in there, very soft, the pear, and then the blueberry, a little crunchy, poof, yeah? And then the papaya, gentle flavor, then the pear, the watermelon, also the mango have stronger flavors, all different kinds of flavors, though pretty similar. That's the variety that's interesting for me so much in cooking. That's today. It is just a day where I make a little bit more complex fruit salad with more ingredients in the dressing and more ingredients in the main part. Yeah. So it's also interesting sometimes to have a little bit more complex salad or meal. Yeah. I do all kinds of meals, but this kind of preparation in my kitchen, I call that take 3 now. That is, as I outlined in the beginning, that is designed on this number 3 ingredients or parts, yeah, and it can be expanded and expanded, but the idea is to have a systematic approach. Making new recipes helps me with a rule like this. It's not a strict rule, it's a rule for myself to go ahead, like a red herring. Yeah, helps me to go ahead, not to have to think so much. So I always, just all I need to think is, okay, how can I now make the number of 3 full? It's very abstract, a tool, but it helps me to have one problem less. I can make a fruit salad of 3 ingredients, plus dressing, plus topping. That's a very simple idea. And with these simple ideas, I can get a long way. I can make a new recipe every single day, just changing one of the ingredients, just one. That's all I need to do. And already I have a new recipe. It has to be delicious, of course. And there becomes, that's the most important part, the ingredients. How I compose these ingredients, how I put them together. That's always the base. How do I put together a melon and a pear? Is that delicious or doesn't it work? Sometimes I put things together that don't taste at all. Good ingredients, amazing, even fruit together. And I think, wow, this one ingredient, I would rather have eaten that on its own. And if that happens, I would say the recipe is not good. Yeah? A good recipe, a good combination of ingredients has to make more of each ingredient. It has to bring out more than the ingredient itself. So that's how I see it, and the method here of Take 3 gives me a good way to go ahead step by step, making a new approach every day, and also to find out what's wrong. A small number of ingredients in one recipe makes it easy to decide, okay, which was wrong now, which didn't work. Talk a little bit of the honeydew melon here. In this case, it is not easy to combine a honeydew melon. Sometimes it stands out too much simply, and then you would say, maybe a wrong combination. Maybe it is what is wrong, it is always subjective, but it makes sense to me to see that it has to be a balance in a food. Yeah? In all life has to be a balance. Yeah? If something stands out too much, it's a questionable. Yeah? Why? Is that necessary now? Is that important? It can be, but it has to be a good reason. Something has to be, that's it. But if not, maybe try something else. And that's how the method helps me so much. I hope you can relate to that. If you like my video, subscribe and be vegan on YouTube. Have another recipe every single day. Yeah, you can feel inspired. I would be glad to hear about that. And you can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest and Twitter.